Hey, I think I am live. I'm not expecting a whole bunch of people to be on live with me right now. Um, you guys can come back and check it out later. I've been literally trying to do this live stream for almost 2 weeks. Um, my schedule has been literally insane. Um, it's literally been insane. But hey, of course, I am Andre Brown, host of Spectacular Radio. This is half hour of nerd power. So basically, and this not going to be a full 30 minutes. It's probably going to be maybe 15, 20 minutes max. I just wanted to be able to connect with you guys before we do the big show coming up next week. Of course, we still have the double O gold sweepstakes still going on. Yeah, you got 2 more days. Follow, like, subscribe, tell people who, funds are tight. Funds are tight right now. So if you know someone that's really wanting that game and, they, want to, just, hey, just, all you got to do is like our YouTube page, become it's a free tier that we do have for Patreon. We have other tiers. You can definitely check them out. We have super, mega, hyper, and ultra. Anything that you do, give funds to, it does goes to support to Spectacular Radio and Spectacular Comics LLC. We are the first shared comic cinematic universe in Virginia. We have live action shows that we are actually shooting here in Virginia, in Suffolk, Norfolk, Newport News, Hampton. I have spectacular directors, awesome casts, exquisite executive producers. I am blessed with the amount of talent that we do have, but anything that you do contribute, if you decide to do a paid tier, goes towards that and the printing of our comics as well and our children's book, which we're wrapping up on as well. So just letting you know, but it is a free tier available. Just want you to, be open to our world and what we have going on and everything of that nature. Um, but yeah, I mean, so that's the way to get into the sweepstakes. Like our Patreon, join our free tier for that. Like our YouTube page and follow us on Instagram. Shoot me a message. Say, shoot us a message like, hey, following you guys, and definitely give us a comment about the content that you see. What's going on, what you like, stuff like that. Checking out our podcasts, things that you feel like we can improve on, or things, segments that you will feel good about us having. I mean, of course, we got our head to head, which is going to be our newest one is getting ready to come out in the next couple of days. That you'll see that. But yeah, I mean, definitely give us your comments. I would really, we love the feedback. And of course, if you send us an email, spectacularradio@gmail.com, we do have a question back segment. So you can kind of be in the limelight of the discussion as well. So just letting you know those are things that we do have, and that's how you get in the sweepstakes. Just it's free to join the sweepstakes, and it's a lot of great elements for that. Of course, we've got the big one, which is the collector's edition of the James Bond game, and then the lower tier is the gold controller, and then the limited edition Motion Man comic. So those are great things that you can be able to just get into, and it's free. You know what I'm saying? So definitely check out our sweepstakes, and like I said, follow us as well. As you guys have seen the title card, I will be talking about a main subject. We have a follower, which I really appreciate him supporting us as for so long, as far as our question back segment, sending in some great head-to-head elements as well for our head-to-head segment. Kylo Renner, I really appreciate you being, a part of what we've been doing for so long. We're still building, our community, and you've always, been supportive, and we really appreciate that. And he sent in something. Hey, what's going on, Will Studios? Yeah, appreciate it. I didn't even know somebody was gonna be. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't think nobody was gonna be on with me. I was just gonna do this and let people check it out later. But yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you, Will Studios, for being here. We could definitely nerd out and stuff like that. But yeah, yeah, I was gonna say that. I wanted to make sure that I addressed the big question that he had for me, because we're so back catalog with questions for our question bag. We're still trying to play catch up. But this one I took out, Kylo. I'm just gonna. I know you're probably gonna check this video out later. You probably sleep somewhere now, but I pulled that out because I wanted to really touch on the my adventures with Superman versus X-Men 97 season 2. Which one do I think will be better this upcoming season and stuff like that. I'm just drawing a comic in the basement. I just found you. Oh, word, appreciate you, man. Thank you. Um, so I want to address that, saying that that battling and Marvel versus, because it's literally Marvel versus DC animated wise this year. So my adventures with Superman season 3 versus X-Men 97 season 2. And I know some people are just because and Marvel's had such a positive output when it comes to the movies over the certain amount of years than DC had, because and I have to keep going through this breakdown because a lot of people are not made familiar with what's going on with the backdoor ends or back ends business elements dealing with Warner Brothers, which right now, James Gunn and Peter Safran are the co-CEO of DC Comics. David Zaslav being one of the greatest executives to this date. I put him up there with Bob Iger. Literally saved Warner Brothers while I was on his deathbed because AT&T ran into the ground, and they were very reactionary when Marvel was at its like peak. And every time something Marvel did something, they were looking like, "Oh, now we got to change this. We got to change this." And like David Ayer messing people up, going on set being like, "No, we need to change this whole script. We need to do blah blah blah." And when David Zaslav came in, one of the first things he asked in the meeting when he took over Warner Brothers was like, "I ain't trying to hear all that noise. First question is, why doesn't DC have his own studio?" They couldn't even answer that. That was one of the first things he did. He appointed CEO, made DC its own thing, and James Gunn took over. So to me, that was already such a positive decision. So it's actually he's trying to change the narrative of how people perceive DC. And that's what I love. And I'm an all over comic book fan. I love DC. I love DC comics. I love Marvel. I love Dark Horse. I love Image. I love Titan comic. I love just comics in general. So I'm not biased on either one. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is a lot of people just kind of poo poo on the My Adventures with Superman, and that show has actually been very, very fantastic. I love season one and I love season two. I love the introduction of Supergirl. It's been a couple of years they've been doing animation, and I think the guy from The Boys, he does the voice for Superman, and it's just crazy. Of course, he doesn't look like Superman, but the voice that he does for this iteration of Superman, I think he's doing a magnificent job on. And I just gotta caution people: do not knock it, especially if you haven't even seen the show. I was surprised that Adult Swim picked it up because it's no nudity, it's not like blood and arms breaking, a whole bunch of cussing in it and stuff like that. I was expecting that. When I saw the trailers and I was like, and they said Adult Swim, I was like, oh, this is gonna be kind of, regal. I mean, not sorry, wrong word, Lord. You can tell I'm tired, but this is gonna be a little rough. I was like, I don't having the kids watching this or anything like that. And I watched the first two episodes. I was like, dang, my daughter can watch this with me. Oh, okay. And then so we made it a family thing, brought the family in, and we all watched it. We liked it. You know what I'm saying? So one of my I think Junior, my oldest son, I'm not sure if he likes it. I gotta really check, but I know my daughter, she liked it. It was my niece. My niece, she wasn't a big fan of it or anything like that. Not knock her. She likes Teen Titans Go. Our Teen Titans, our generation, our Teen Titans is the best Teen Titans. I ain't more about that. That and Young Justice. Those two are like top tier. You can't mess with those two. Like those are the greatest iterations of Titans ever. Teen Titans Go is not. I don't know what that is. This is a bag of trash. I'm sorry. You can get mad, whatever. But but yeah. So it was. it was interesting to see Adult Swim pick that up and to see how intriguing the show is. Um, oh, my daughter, it didn't hook her. She did like Teen Titans. Oh, she liked our version of Teen Titans. Yes, that art man. Listen, Art's version of Teen Titans, Will Studios is the best because to me it was that perfect balance of the comedic elements that were needed with that like little bit of that anime humor and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not why I don't like Teen Titans Go either. I can't stand that thing. But our Teen Titans was just that had that sprinkle of the anime humor, the right balance of the humor of our generation. But it had the when it got serious, it got serious. When it got gritty, a little gritty, got a little gritty, got a little rough. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with some of the things, dealing with Slade and all this stuff. But it was so perfectly balanced and that's hard to do. Like that's not an easy task, and they did it very well. And then Young Justice is it needs to be studied as one of the greatest like animated shows. Period. And the reason I say that, and I know that's kind of an exaggeration, but the reason I say that is because it the way that they grew everybody up and referenced because one of the criticisms I have for like shows like Family Guy and Simpsons, I used to watch well the season 2 to season like 10 close to 11 is only seasons of the Simpsons I watched. I'll watch on repeat. It started getting try to compete with Family Guy when they started getting the higher seasons, but the reason I reference those two shows is because they all stayed the same. It's so many elements of things that you can do if you grow them up. For an example, I had an idea. I was like, man, Meg could g- go to college and then she can get married and then she can have her boyfriend and then that's a whole nother 2 3 seasons of you got new characters meeting his family, blah blah blah, and all this stuff. When what I'm saying is that Young Justice did such a powerful job being able to grow everybody up and it's like every year they got older relationships and just the drama and teens it was so articulate and immaculate, bro. I was like, yo, this is what is this? I was like, yo, and then they honored us black folks. He had Icon in there and Rocket. Like we had storyline static. Like it wasn't just like, oh, look, it's Black Lightning in the back. Hey guys, so Black Lightning, I'm gonna throw some lightning here. I'm out of here, y'all. Like, no, they had our characters were like as important as like Superman and Batman and everybody just worked together. Bro, Young Justice just needs to be studied. How it got canceled, I couldn't tell you. I don't know what happened, what was going on. I know one of the elements was that I read in the news and then I did some research on was because it didn't really sell the merchandise elements to it or whatever. That's stupid to me. I mean, I understand it's money, whatever, but if the ratings are exceptional, don't touch it. Just leave it alone. Just keep doing figure it out. Do something else. Let somebody else make toys. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyway, but I say all that to say, like, it's good to see my adventures with Superman have a great team around it and they actually take it and it's actually really good. So, and then of course, and I said all that to because I don't want people poo-pooing on my adventures with Superman. So that's why I said that. So we talked about my adventures with Superman. Now, of course, let's talk about the Golden Egg, X-Men 97. Season one. Just miraculous, man. Yo, Gambit. Just that's all you have to say, man. It's X-Men 97, Gambit. Let's go, bro. Like you come on, man. He went out like a G, taking out, I think it was like a Ultra Sentinel or something like that. It was like that made you look moment, and he blew the whole thing, bro. That was amazing. Animation was on point. Nightcrawler was a beast. Cyclops was a straight G, just straight boss. Just I mean, come on. What was the first episode? He was like, you know, I see you on the ground. He ain't got no parachutes. I see you on the ground, man. There ain't nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? Doing Wolverine stuff. Storm a straight goddess. Like, just X-Men 97 is just regal storytelling at its finest in animation form. Of course, there are certain segments of comics that they kind of sped through, which I was like surprised on because I'm like, bro, that's a whole season. You only turned that into 3 episodes. Man, bro, that's a whole season right there. I mean, I don't know if y'all trying to do. I'm like, how many seasons y'all trying to do? Because I'm like, y'all kind of speeding through some stuff. Hopefully like they do like House of M and all. I'm like, look, just take your time. We ain't gotta rush. We ain't gotta do a whole bunch of extra stuff. Just let's pace ourselves and let's let the characters be digested properly. And that's one of my biggest, hopes that they take their time with season two. Because I heard that, they got season three, they're working on that. So we got season three. I don't know if they're gonna green light season four or not. Of course, they had some controversy with there was the black gentleman that was writing it. I think he wrote season one and two, and I think half of three or something like that. I don't think he's on anymore. So like we're like, okay, trying to figure out what's going on with that. So hopefully they will do a season four or whatever the case may be beyond season three. But I'm like, pace yourselves. I mean, you have listen, man, y'all are sitting on gold, bro. Like the newest trailer for X-Men 97 was just peak. Um, before the end of season one, it was a shame. Oh yeah, they booted him before. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you talking about Gambit? Yeah, I was disappointed, but then of course we got I think it was like the reveal where Apocalypse his horseman. So I think Gambit is going to be one of the horsemen from what I was kind of gathering, but yeah, yeah, yeah. The Mayo. Yeah, that whole thing was the showrunner. Yeah, exactly. That whole thing was crazy with that. There was a whole bunch of drama with that. Um, but I mean, yeah, if you can, if not, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, however you want to do it. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm still working the ones and twos with the camera and stuff like that. So just however you want to do it, just let me know and stuff like that. But yeah, it was just crazy how they dealt with him and all of that. But we are here using StreamYard. No. I'm just on the YouTube studio thing, just going live up here on YouTube. Um, Will Studios. I'm matter of fact, yeah, shoot me an email on the Spectacular Inc. Spectacular Inc. Radio at gmail.com. I want to you can show me how to do that and kind of bring somebody on and all of that. I would love to figure all that out. I don't want to mess nothing up because it's my first. I'm doing the ones and twos by myself right now. When we do the show for like the actual Spectacular Radio, I have the professionals, the Goatverse people. They do all the ones and twos. They do the editing. They do all of that stuff, which I love what they do. All I do is just put the camera up on the thing for the computer and just let it run. So, but yeah, shoot me an email. Okay, yeah, okay, that's cool. Um, but yeah, so back to what I was saying with the X-Men 97. I think X-Men 97 season 2 has regal potential. That trailer was crazy. Polaris. Of course, you saw Deadpool. You had who else was in the trailer? Of course, Cyclops. Of course, again was a G. Like I said, I think Gambit is going to be one of the Horsemen, and I think the whole time warping thing is going to be cool. The only thing I pray on is I hope that they do not rush it. Like let the story breathe, take your time. I think you have, like I said, you guys are sitting on gold here. And the crazy thing is, we not only so okay. So I think it's crazy because I just thought about that and I put it because I got to start creating the notes because we're doing the show next week for our next episode for Spectacular Radio. Get this though. So now I just realized DC and Marvel have two shows coming out this year each. So Batman the Cape Crusader on Amazon season 2 is coming out this year. I thought that was next year. So it's actually coming out this year. I'm like, whoa. So we got that and My Adventures with Superman. And then so now Marvel has X-Men 97, but then they also have it's not My Adventures with Spider-Man, but the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man season 2. I don't know what I think a lot of people, not a lot, I think it's very divisive. I liked the Neighborhood Spider-Man animated season 1. I thought it was fantastic. I mean, it was a new take, and that's what I'm trying. Look. I don't want us turning into old heads. Like we like, oh man, that's not my Spider-Man. That's my listen. We got to understand that they're trying to keep our characters relevant to the newer generation. Because if they do not, they're just going to phase out. And one of the biggest examples of that is the new He-Man movie. I'm not going to spoil it. If somebody's here listening and they're like, "Oh no, 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 no," I'm not going to spoil the movie. That's not how I operate. I don't get down. I did put my review out. Me and my son went to go see it, and I was really excited, but they didn't do a good job translating it for this generation. I really was let down. And one of my the critics that I do follow and I listen to on YouTube and I listen to his podcast, he made a fantastic point. Dungeons and Dragons, the one with Chris Pine, that movie was exceptional. That movie was way better than it had any business being. Like, I'm not even joking. That movie was so good. I'm looking like, bro, what in the world is going on? Like, why am I such so I was so invested in these characters. I was so enthralled in the story. And I'm like, and they're not getting a second movie because I think they botched the marketing. I don't think the marketing department knew what they had. I think they were like, "Well, uh, do this and put this in the trailer." I really I think the marketing team, they should have handed that to somebody of our caliber. It had to been a nerd to make them trailers because the marketing department, I don't think they were. I think they were just like, we just need to market this movie, and I'm like, you needed to market that in a very particular way, and I think the marketing campaign dropped the ball because even as me being as a geek and a nerd myself, but before I saw the movie, I was kind of like, I'm gonna check it out. It looks okay. I mean, this, that, and the third. And I walked at the movie like, yo, that was so good. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because that movie is a perfect example of saying like, hey, Dungeons and Dragons is you had to try to get that adapted for the younger generation. And I felt like the directors, the writers, the team, I think everybody knew what they doing. It was like lightning in a bottle. I think they really figured out the formula and was able to strike where it needed to strike, humor where it needed to be funny, emotional where it needed to be emotional, the impact, the weight, the acting, the cheesiness, the camping, all of that. It was meshed well. It was literally like a Thanksgiving dinner that nobody rushed. Nobody was like, oh, no, no, no. Let that turkey cook. You need macaroni cheese from scratch. I don't need no box stuff. Don't give me no powder. I need real cheese. Let me cut it off the block. That's how you got Dungeons and Dragons to be so exceptional. And they made a point to saying that He-Man, it was in that same predicament where it needed to be able to do that, and it did not. Looking at the written by or story by, if you see that when you go see the movie, if you haven't already seen it yet, and you see it's like four or five writers, six right. Why is so many people working because it was in production hell? And I'm trying to tell people, do not do not do not blame Travis Knight, and please don't sleep on him as a director. If you have not seen Kubo and the Two Strings, if you have not watched Bumblebee, sit down and be quiet. Do not knock that boy. That dude is no joke. I feel like I feel like he was presented with the same thing Christopher Nolan was presented when he was with Warner Brothers before the fallout with AT&T when COVID when they made the dumbest decision to go behind everybody back and put all the movies on HBO and in theater the same day without even talking or consulting with any of their business partners. that's a whole nother story within itself. But I think Travis was presented with the same thing Christopher Nolan was presented with. Like, hey, okay, so we want you. Yeah, I know you want to do this. So can you do this for us? And then, you can do this. Christopher Nolan, hey, we know you want to do these two movies, whatever movies he was trying to do, and we'll fund you. I mean, almost a blank check, pretty much. But can you do these dark, do the Batman movies for us? And of course, then we got Batman Begins and we got Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. I had a friend said they liked that a lot. I thought Dark Knight Rises was okay. It was solid, but you could tell that he was kind of, ready to wrap up that franchise and move on to something else. But of course, he was able to do Batman Begins and then do a movie he wanted to do, then do Dark Knight and then do a movie he wanted to do. And that's kind of how it was. And I think Travis Knight is in that same predicament where it's like, hey, we know you want to do, blank or, whatever. Can you do, can you get this He-Man movie out of production hell and just try to do what you can with it and then go from there? Because Kubo and the Two Strings, Travis was able to build that from the ground up. And then, Bumblebee, he was able to from the ground up. I feel like he was just thrown a 1995 Mazda and that's been sitting for like 2 years in somebody's garage that they dragged out, and it was like, "All right, Travis, here you go. Let's figure it out." And he looking like, "Dude, what is this? Well, come on, we want you to work on it." You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like that's what happened with He-Man. I feel like they was just like, "Hey, it's a busted 1995 monster. Come on, figure it out." And he had to try to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not going to blame him. I'm not going to even go down that road. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, he man, yeah, it's not good, man. It's 5.5 out of 10 is what I gave it. And I'm not going to go through a whole rant because I did my rant on my review, and we will talk about it on the podcast. But I'm very disappointed because I was expecting to feel like how I felt when I came out of Dungeons and Dragons. The reviewer and critic that I do watch, he made a very good point. I'm like, yo, I was not expecting to come out feeling excited, and I have Dungeons and Dragons on 4K. I watched it like a month or some change ago. And I don't mind watching that movie again. I love that movie, but I'm like, He Man to me, I don't even wanna own it. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm a guy that I buys movies, like, my bookshelf right there is nothing but 4Ks right there, bro. Nothing but 4Ks. I don't even want that, bro. I don't even want it. I don't even want it on my shelf. It's that bad, bro. Like, oh, crazy thing is, oh, of course, come on now, y'all. My Mortal Kombat 2 cup. I hated the rebooted Mortal Kombat. I hated that one. The second one, I like that better than the first one because they figured out what was wrong and they fixed it. Was it still kind of campy in certain places? Yeah, but I had more fun with Mortal Kombat 2 than I did He-Man, and that's just telling you something. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just kidding. Of course, Mortal Kombat 2 cup. I got my He-Man cup too, but I got that at my desk at work. Anyway, I actually did hit 30 minutes, oh, half hour. 28 minutes already. So yeah, I didn't know I was gonna hit 30 minutes because I didn't know so much to talk about dealing with that. And I've been trying to do this live stream for 2. I apologize, guys, because I knew when I said that on the podcast, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do at least 3 a week and stuff like that. Bro, between my nieces coming into town from Georgia and then, helping them out and then helping my mom, and then my mom, she was, if people know personally, she got really sick and dealing with, then Bianca got sick, and then, the wife and the kids, and I'm working and spectacular radio and spectacular comics. It just got so overwhelming that it's really hard to try to do these things. But I love doing these live streams, and I like Will Studios. Thank you for, interacting with me. I love this, and I love talking, with other geeks and nerds, so we can kind of nerd out and talk about stuff. And I'm hoping I make time to do more of these. I hope I can do it at a better time and let people know way more ahead of time than like, hey, in 10 minutes I'm going live. You know what I'm saying? So I'm watching you on my channel. Oh, I appreciate you. Woo. But yeah, man, it feels good to be able to talk about these things with other nerds and geeks and stuff like that, and we can just nerd out. But yeah, Kylo Renner, I appreciate you. Whenever you get a chance to watch this, you brought up a good point, the versus thing, and if you were saying if you wanted me to choose, I can't really choose. I'm really excited about My Adventures with Superman season two. I mean season three, and I'm excited about X-Men '97 season two. I'm excited about the Batman Cape Crusader animated show that's going to be on Amazon Prime, and I'm excited about the new Neighborhood Spider-Man, season two that's going to be on Disney Plus. I feel like both. If you are a real true geek or nerd, you got to give both of them a chance. Like they're really doing a great job. Even with the boys. The boys ain't even DC or Marvel. I forgot which comic book company did the boys, but oh, hold on, the X Men season two trailer. Oh, hey, what's up, Jordan? What's going on from Canada? Hey, appreciate you jumping in, man. The X-Men season two trailer was gay. Yes, great music. Enjoy your summer, guys. Thank you for chiming in. Thanks, man. Yeah, well, man, yo, Polaris, the whole Polaris thing, Cyclops, Wolverines, we're back, stuff like that. Fucking loved it, man. Yo, this season of X-Men '97 is going to be, and oh, yo, the other crazy thing is, I know we was just talking about the animated shows, and I'm gonna hop off soon, but real quick, that Spider-Man Noir show is superb. Chef's kiss. Nicolas Cage at his prime. He hasn't been this good since Face Off. I don't care what nobody say. Spider-Man Noir is awesome. I'm like, yeah, I cannot wait to talk about this on the podcast. I'm only a couple of episodes in. I gotta watch some more. I hate that Amazon did that. Weekly drops, man. Weekly drop. You have no momentum. You literally dropped it and was like, here you go. A whole season. Why did you do that, man? Give it the weekly treat. I'm telling you now, if they had dropped this weekly, I'm telling you, the whole internet, all the geek sphere will be talking about this show. Oh, I can't wait. Did you see the last episode of Spider-Man Noir? And people would be able to catch up. I can't talk about this show with somebody else because they're like, oh, I'm on episode 5. And then somebody else is like, oh, I'm only on episode 1. I only started like half an hour and stuff like that. People got lives, they got kids, they gotta work. Some people work night shift, some people work mid shift. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta do the weekly drops for people to get in. And they made that mistake with Fallout. They didn't do that with season 2 of Fallout. They learned a lesson, which I'm glad they did. They learned a lesson hard. They was like, okay, we need to do the week. They did that with Jack Reacher too. They fixed that. They had Jack Reacher. They did that. They did a whole all season 1. They dropped the whole season. They effed up. They know they messed up, and they had to drop it weekly. I'm telling you, weekly drops is always better for better ratings, more guarantee for a season 2 green light because these companies, these corporations, they don't care about all the blah 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 blah. They're not caring about, oh my god, it was so great how they're not worried about that. They're worried about the numbers. They worry about the money. How many people looked at it, this and the third. But if you drop it weekly, the analytics turns out to being gold, especially if the show is exceptional. The show is exceptional. It's going to turn out to be good. And we got a lot, and not and outside of comics, we got a lot of great streaming coming up. From Star City on Apple TV is going on right now. If you don't know what that is, For All Mankind is literally in the top 10, one of the greatest shows ever created. If you're not, definitely watch that. Then Silo season 3 coming up. We're gonna be talking about that on the podcast. The new trailer that came out. Rebecca Ferguson has never been better in that show. Of course, we got the new House of Dragon season coming out. Like yo, it is going to be peak, streaming within the next couple of weeks, and it's going to be exceptional. But we're way past time. I hit 34. That's crazy. I passed the half hour mark. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up. Hey, please leave me comments. Will Studios, if you liked it, Jordan from Canada, if you liked it, let me know if you want me to do these more often. I'm gonna definitely try to. I literally try to do this one for like almost 2 weeks, and I appreciate it. It warms my heart that people, feel good to communicate with me and stuff like that. And like I said, hey, if you haven't gotten the 007 game yet, if you didn't get a chance to grab it, if funds are tight, because trust me, I know kids, all the stuff, I understand that, wives, husbands, whatever. But if you want to get it, do our sweepstakes. All you gotta do is follow us up here on YouTube, follow us on Patreon, and follow us on Instagram and shoot me a message. But hey, what's going on? Blah blah blah, and check out our content. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, and check out my reviews. And if I could do something better, let me know. Send me a message or something like that. I'm Andre Brown, Spectacular Inc. Radio. Our next episode of our podcast, I think we're on episode 83. Yeah. Episode 82. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on Spotify as well. The new question bag is going to be on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify coming up. So I'll make sure that gets uploaded, but it's already on our YouTube channel, and it's already on our Patreon and stuff that's been on our Patreon already. And then our new head-to-head video is going to be coming up in the next couple of days. So be on the lookout for that. If you have a question that you want to, put in for our question bag, just send in your name and your question at spectacularingradio@gmail.com, and we'll read it on question bag when we get an opportunity. Thank you for joining me. I didn't know so many people were going to join or message in and stuff like that. I really appreciate the love, and I definitely check you guys out next time. I gotta wrap up some other stuff with some of the comic stuff, and then try to get some rest too. I got 4 or 5 hours of sleep, but that's how we do. So appreciate y'all. And I'll do another segment. If it's something that you want me to talk about on a live stream, shoot me a message too. I definitely try to throw that in and stuff like that. So appreciate you guys, and I will check you guys out next time.